On-screen quote.
If you think I can help, I'll do it. Father Boniface Wittenbrink, OMI.
A sign reads, "Welcome to the new office and studios of Radio Information Service for Blind and Print Handicapped."
MindsEye began 50 years ago in 1973, when Father Boniface Wittenbrink,
A black and white photo of Father Bonnie next to the building which says Radio Information Service.
a priest in the Catholic Order of the Missionaries of Mary Immaculate, founded WMRY's Talking Book.
A series of black and white photographs. A woman reads grocery store ads into a microphone. A man sits at a large foam-covered mic. The RIS logo hangs in front of him. Another woman reads a magazine using a reel-to-reel.
The region finally had a way to provide readings of newspapers and magazines to community members who were blind or partially sighted. It was only the third reading service of its kind in the world.
A man wears large headphones at a control panel. 3 people sit on the other side of a large window.
From its origins, Father Bonnie imbued the organization with core ideals that are now as strong as ever.
Father Bonnie accepts a check and award from the Exchange Club. In another photo, he stands with a group outside the building which now says WMRY.
One founding value was the willingness to figure it out.
Father Bonnie turns the knob on a radio.
Upon being approached to start a radio reading service, Father Bonnie's famous reply was that he knew nothing about blindness or even about radio, except how to turn one on and off and change the batteries. But, quote, "If you think I can help, I'll do it."
And he was always gung-ho. My aunt would say he never met a stranger.
Father Alan Mays, friend of Father Bonnie.
He was always eager to meet somebody and to find out what they're all about.
10 years later,
Grainy video footage of a bus stuck in snow. 3 snowplows pass as people dig out a car.
Father Bonnie famously figured out how to get the station back on the air during the Great Snowstorm of 1982. As remembered by longtime program director John Weidlich,
A black and white photo of John Weidlich using a brailer in front of a control board and microphone.
quote, "On the 4th day, I got a phone call. It was Father Bonnie
A split screen with Father Bonnie on the left and John Weidlich on the right.
saying, 'I can't stand being off the air, and you're going to tell me how to put the station on the air so I can talk to the listeners and see if they're okay.' So, patiently, I explained how to run the equipment, and soon he was broadcasting.
A picture of Father Bonnie talking into a microphone.
He asked if everyone was okay and invited them to call in. A phone call came in, and then another, and another. And for 2 hours, Father talked to listeners by phone over the air, making sure they were surviving the storm.
And he was always open to people.
Meg Wittenbrink, Father Bonnie's niece.
And his key thing is find out what the other person wants. Ask them what they need. Find out their needs.
Another long-standing organizational principle is the importance of a close connection to the community it serves,
Color video of an SCA radio. 2 people read newspapers on air.
so that programs deliver what is needed rather than what is presumed to be lacking.
Color video of John Weidlich talking into a microphone over the control board.
Again, remembered fondly in the words of John Weidlich,
A large light reads, "On the air," above a sign, RIS Volunteer Help
quote,
Wanted.
"He felt that my blindness would be helpful in knowing what to broadcast and to be connected with the listeners, many of whom I knew."
I always joke and say I was doing audio description before I even knew what it was.
Jason Frazier, President and CEO, MindsEye.
My grandma would watch The Price is Right, and I'm sitting there audio describing people running and tackling Bob Barker because they're so excited about, getting to go down there. And I think one of my biggest goals was when I got here, and after just finding out the role that I had as a part-time board operator, was to make sure families like mine knew about MindsEye.
In a theater, a child wears headphones and holds an audio description device.
And knew what good it could do for them.
On a field, children practice swinging bats at beep baseballs. A girl hits the ball lightly and runs toward a base.
What we're doing here at MindsEye is impacting so many lives, not locally, not even just regionally going on both sides of the water, but also from a national standpoint, we're starting to have that impact too as well.
A smiling woman wearing headphones sits on a blanket outdoors. A hand turns the dial of an SCA radio.
I think she'd be very proud of the impact that we're making here.
Volunteer readers record from home.
In this first 50 years, we've been able to accomplish still having volunteers run the radio reading service, accomplish getting the iOS app, updating our technology.
A person scrolls through a category list on the MindsEye app on their phone.
Going from wanting to do 20 audio description shows to doing 146.
The Muni logo superimposed over costume dancers on stage as a woman audio describes.
Accomplished going from doing a once-a-year beat baseball tournament, now hosting the World Series here and having a team that travels and competes in the World Series as well.
Logo, NBBA 2024 World Series, St. Charles, Missouri.
That was all in the first 50. The next 50 looked pretty promising as well.
Photos of volunteers and supporters.
MindsEye's work would not be possible without the incredible financial support of those with whom its mission resonates.
Through our agencies.
Regina Greer, Chief Impact Officer at United Way of Greater St. Louis.
Through our partners like MindsEye and others where we can help support this community.
Ameren, Illinois.
D. Lori Newsom-Pitts, Manager, Charitable Contributions and Community Initiatives, Ameren, Illinois.
Funding has always been directed towards the innovation and sustainability of MindsEye programs. What excited me the most was audio descriptive services, and to me, that work alone is transformational.
With MindsEye, it's a great organization.
Eric Warnhoff, President of Lighthouse for the Blind, St. Louis.
And what you guys do in really transitioning audio into in connecting people that are blind in different ways. So we really value that partnership.
And not least of all, Father Bonnie's vision for the future has become a reality.
A black and white photo of Father Bonnie talking on the phone next to a current picture of a man wearing headphones. A series of black and white photos transition to color and then modern
They've
photos.
adapted and changed based on the needs of the community through the tireless work of its staff and volunteers. They've kept MindsEye Radio on the air.
3 photos of control boards through the years.
Created countless adaptive athletics experiences,
Beatball and blind soccer.
and ensured the accessibility of the region's cultural landscape for community members who are blind or partially sighted.
AD patrons at the Missouri History Museum and the National Blues Museum.
They've kept Father Bonnie's founding principles alive.
A black and white photo of Father Bonnie next to a sign that reads Home of Radio Information Service for the Blind and Handicapped on WMRY's subcarrier.
And growing with his same energy and drive.
A color photo of Jason Frazier next to the modern MindsEye sign.
And with no signs of slowing over the next 50 years.
Father Bonnie reads the book, The Greatest is Love.
If he were here today, he would say, "Oh, I'm glad you're having my tuxedo cake and the champagne, because life has to be celebrated."
Logo, MindsEye Soiree 2023, a 50th anniversary celebration.